Next step is check door sections. So in this step, you're going to go around the project and you're going to check every door in the project to make sure that the doors are okay. So the things you're going to check for are the dimensions, whether the door width and heights are correct, and all other dimensions, whether the mark numbers are correct, and you're going to cut sections in the doors to make sure that all of the details, all the parts, anchoring, etc., are correct, and make sure the correct mullion families were used at the jams. So to do this step, double click the row. You want to hit Get Door Data. And this table is going to pop up. To go into an elevation view with the door, you can double click the row. So we're going to click the first row to navigate to the first elevation view for the door. And as you see, the door is displayed. You want to make sure that the dimensions match with the architecturals or whatever you're comparing this to. And one rule of thumb we have is that the door width for single doors needs to be below 3 feet, and for double doors it needs to be, it needs to be greater than 3 feet for the door opening on single doors and greater than 6 feet on double doors. And the program will flag any door that doesn't meet that criteria, and it'll display it in pink. All the doors here seem to be okay as far as that goes. But you're going to go make sure these dimensions are correct. And after you make the necessary changes, if you need to, then you're going to check the mark number of the door. Check that with the architecturals, etc. Make sure these mark numbers are correct. You can change these through the table, but just remember that at the time that I made this video, you're going to have to click the Set Offset and Mark Number button for this to update in the project. That may change in the future, but just keep that in mind if you're editing through the table. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut sections for the door. I actually created these buttons, cut horizontal and cut vertical, for more easily doing that. If you click the cut horizontal for the first row, it's going to cut a horizontal section for that door. You're going to want to zoom in, check that the door detail looks correct. Make sure that the jamb looks good and the detail are cut as well. And once that looks good, you're going to want to do a vertical cut. So it looks like there's nothing showing. Don't worry. The program sometimes messes up the crop region, but you could just drag it to the right if this happens. So you're going to want to do the same thing for a vertical cut. Make sure that all the details look correct. You're going to want to check it, make the necessary changes, and when it's good, you're going to want to come back and check the final thing, which is the mullion profile families for the door jambs. Just make sure that they're consistent and they're correct. Sometimes these get changed because occasionally, there's these side lights where it cuts a grid line with the ornamental horizontal. But just make sure that these two are correct, or both of the jambs are correct. And once you complete this for the first door, this first door is correct. You're gonna double click on the next door on the list and check that door and complete the same steps you did for the first door for all the rest of the doors. And once you've checked all the doors, the step is done. Go back to the checklist, type is checked, and put your initials and any comments, and you're done.